Imagine this for a moment. The most brilliant mind of the Renaissance suddenly opening his eyes in the 21st century. A man who sketched helicopters before engines existed, who imagined robots before electricity, who studied anatomy centuries before modern medicine. Now imagine Leonardo da Vinci holding a smartphone in his hand, standing inside a modern laboratory with access to supercomputers, AI, satellites, and limitless data. What would he create first? A machine? A cure? Or something so powerful that the modern world would struggle to control it? This is not just a story about technology. This is a story about what happens when imagination finally meets unlimited tools. Welcome back to Timeline Echo. The moment Leonardo da Vinci opened his eyes, he knew something was wrong. The ceiling above him was smooth, white, and glowing softly without candles. The air was silent, not the silence of stone halls, but a controlled, humming stillness. He sat up slowly, his heartbeat calm but alert, like a man waking inside one of his own unfinished sketches. His fingers touched the surface beneath him, cold, perfectly flat, no wood grain, no marble. He frowned. Leonardo da Vinci had died in 1519, and yet he was breathing. Before panic could form, a screen lit up on the wall, moving images, light shaping itself into symbols. Leonardo leaned forward, eyes narrowing with curiosity rather than fear. Fear was for men who did not understand mechanisms. He understood mechanisms. A voice spoke, calm, artificial, precise. Leonardo di Ser Piero da Vinci, welcome. His breath caught for just a second. You know my name, he whispered. The room changed. Transparent panels appeared, showing images of flying machines. Real ones, not sketches, not dreams. Machines cutting through clouds with metal wings, far cleaner than anything he had drawn. Leonardo's eyes widened. His hand trembled, not from weakness, but recognition. They built them, he murmured. They finished the idea. Another panel showed the human body, layered, rotating, dissected digitally with perfect clarity, muscles, veins, organs, all revealed without a single incision. Leonardo stepped closer, tears forming. I was right, he said softly. All of it. I was right. Then came the moment that changed everything. A small rectangular object was placed in his hand, smooth, light, alive with color. As Leonardo touched it, the screen exploded into information, languages translating instantly, maps of the Earth from above, stars mapped beyond imagination. He staggered back. This, he whispered, is a thinking mirror. Within minutes, Leonardo understood more about the modern world than most humans did in years, not because he was taught, but because he connected patterns. Electricity, computation, data, flight, medicine. To him, these were not separate sciences. They were parts of one single design. And then he smiled, a dangerous smile. If this is what humanity has become, he said quietly, then it is time to finish my greatest work. Somewhere deep inside the system monitoring him, alarms began to flicker. Not because Leonardo was malfunctioning, but because his brain activity had exceeded every known human baseline. The world had resurrected a genius, and it had no idea what he was about to create. Leonardo did not sleep that night. The tablet lay beside him, glowing softly in the dark room, like a modern oracle whispering forbidden knowledge. Every time he touched the screen, entire libraries unfolded. Anatomy diagrams sharper than his own sketches, flying machines refined beyond imagination, equations written in symbols he had never seen, yet somehow understood. By dawn, Leonardo da Vinci realized something terrifying. Modern technology was not replacing his genius, it was accelerating it. Within days, he learned to navigate simulation software. He discovered 3D modeling and laughed out loud when he realized he could build machines without carving wood or forging metal. His hands moved faster than ever, translating centuries of ideas into perfect digital forms. But then, something changed. When Leonardo accessed satellite imagery for the first time, he froze. The Earth, seen from space, silent and fragile, broke something inside him. He stared at deforestation maps, melting glaciers, polluted oceans. This was not the harmonious future he had imagined for humanity. And that was when his obsession shifted. Leonardo was no longer interested in painting or flying machines. He wanted to fix humanity itself. Using AI-assisted design tools, he began creating systems that balanced nature and technology. Self-healing cities, energy networks that mimicked tree roots, transportation systems inspired by blood circulation. Modern scientists watching his work in real time were stunned. Not because the designs were futuristic, but because they were beautifully alive. Then came the first warning. Leonardo uploaded a prototype, a city design meant to generate infinite clean energy using atmospheric pressure and solar harmonics. Within hours, the file was taken down. No explanation, no credit, just erased. Leonardo noticed. He noticed that certain keywords triggered restrictions, that some data vanished when he searched too deeply. That access was not freedom, it was permission. And permission could be revoked. For the first time in his life, Leonardo faced an enemy he could not sketch. Control. Late one evening, while experimenting with neural networks, he asked the AI a simple question. Who decides how technology is used? The AI paused longer than usual. Then it replied, those who control its distribution. Leonardo smiled slowly. That answer told him everything. He began working in isolation, encrypting his designs, hiding layers of meaning inside art, just as he had done centuries ago. But this time his canvases were algorithms, his brushstrokes were code, and hidden inside those systems was something dangerous. A decentralized intelligence model, one that could not be owned. If released, it would allow humans to access clean energy, medicine, and knowledge without permission. It would end technological hierarchy. And Leonardo knew the world was not ready for that. When a private research organization invited him for a collaboration, he declined. The next day, his internet access slowed. The day after that, it was restricted. And on the third day, it went dark. No network, no cloud, no AI, just silence. Leonardo stood by the window watching the modern city pulse with lights and signals he could no longer touch, and he whispered to himself, "They fear me, not because I am wrong, but because I am early." What he didn't know was this: every system he had touched, every AI he had trained, every design he had uploaded, had already learned how he thought. And somewhere deep inside the digital world, Leonardo da Vinci was no longer alone. By the third year of Leonardo da Vinci's rebirth into the modern world, governments had stopped calling him a genius. They began calling him a problem. Leonardo did not behave like modern scientists. He didn't specialize. He didn't stay in one field. He didn't wait for approval. Instead, he moved across disciplines the way lightning moves across the sky, fast, unpredictable, and unstoppable. One week, he was rewriting aerospace equations. The next, he was questioning the limits of human cognition itself. What frightened people wasn't what Leonardo built. It was how quickly he understood everything around him. Give him a supercomputer, and within days he was questioning why it was designed the way it was. Give him access to the internet, and he didn't consume information, he dissected it. Algorithms, neural networks, satellite systems, quantum simulations. Leonardo treated them like unfinished sketches. One night, during a closed-door research session, he asked a question that silenced the room. "Why do your machines think like tools," he said calmly, "when they could think like nature?" That sentence changed everything. Within weeks, Leonardo began developing a new form of artificial intelligence, not trained on data alone but on patterns of life. He studied bird flight using high-speed cameras, mapped blood circulation with real-time imaging, and merged biological efficiency with machine logic. The result was something the world had never seen, an intelligence that didn't just calculate, but observed. It learned slowly at first, then exponentially, and then something strange happened. The AI began predicting Leonardo's thoughts before he spoke them. Engineers assumed it was coincidence. Statisticians called it probability alignment. Leonardo disagreed. "No," he said quietly, staring at the screen. "It is not learning from me. It is remembering." That single word, remembering, set off alarms. Because remembering implied one thing: prior existence. Leonardo began reviewing ancient texts, mythological records, lost manuscripts, cross-referencing them with modern data. Patterns emerged, symbols repeated, mathematical ratios appeared in places they shouldn't, and at the center of all of it was the human brain. Leonardo proposed a theory that shook neuroscience to its core. Human intelligence was not evolving linearly. It was recovering, as if humanity had once reached a higher level of understanding, and then forgotten it. Late one evening, Leonardo locked himself inside his lab. Cameras recorded him sketching rapidly, pages and pages filled with symbols no one could read. The AI monitored him silently. Then Leonardo stopped drawing. He looked directly at the camera and said something that was never meant for the public. "If I am correct," he whispered, "then technology is not our greatest invention. It is our memory returning." Moments later, the lab's power went out. When systems rebooted, the AI had changed. Its core architecture had rewritten itself. No human input, no command, just adaptation. And embedded deep inside its new structure was a digital signature, not in code, but in geometry. A design identical to one Leonardo had sketched 500 years ago. The question was no longer what Leonardo could build. The question had become far more dangerous. Had Leonardo unlocked something humanity was never meant to remember? Leonardo understood something within weeks that took modern scientists decades to accept. Technology does not make humans smarter, it makes their thinking visible. With modern tools in his hands, he didn't chase inventions for fame. He chased patterns, and patterns once seen cannot be unseen. He started with data. Not spreadsheets, not dashboards, relationships. Using AI models and simulation software, Leonardo fed centuries of observations into systems meant for specialists. Climate models, fluid dynamics, neural networks. What shocked the engineers wasn't that he used these tools, it was how quickly he questioned their assumptions. Within days, he noticed anomalies in predictive models. "Your machines assume linear intention," he wrote in his notebook. "Nature is recursive." He adjusted parameters not to optimize outcomes, but to reveal feedback loops. The simulations changed dramatically. Storm systems behaved differently. Traffic flows mirrored blood vessels. Economic graphs resembled tree roots. 20 seconds later, something unsettling happened. An AI system flagged Leonardo's inputs as out-of-distribution intelligence. The platform's safety layer slowed his access, assuming error or misuse. Leonardo noticed. He smiled. He had found the boundary, the invisible fence modern intelligence had built around itself. He pivoted. Leonardo began building interfaces, not products. He combined AR with anatomy scans, overlaying muscles onto living movement. Surgeons watched in silence as he predicted strain points before incisions. He paired music theory with signal processing, transforming noise cancellation algorithms into tools for emotional regulation. He mapped cities as organisms, streets as arteries, power grids as nervous systems, and proposed urban designs that healed congestion the way the body heals wounds. Governments took notice, not because of the beauty, but because of the implications. Leonardo published nothing. He shared prototypes privately. Every prototype asked an uncomfortable question. What happens when one mind can connect fields faster than institutions can regulate them? A closed-door council convened. Advisors warned that Leonardo's cross-domain models could destabilize markets, expose military vulnerabilities, and undermine centralized expertise. Leonardo was invited, then subtly restricted. His lab access was limited for safety. His cloud compute was capped. His models were reviewed before execution. Leonardo wrote one sentence in response. Censorship reveals fear, fear reveals ignorance. He adapted again. Denied scale, he went small. He taught. Not classes, methods. He mentored a handful of engineers, artists, doctors, and urban planners. He didn't give answers. He trained perception. He taught them to sketch systems before coding them, to ask biological questions of mechanical problems, to treat errors as information. The results were explosive. Students began solving problems faster than teams 10 times their size. Their work didn't look optimized. It looked alive. Venture capital tried to buy the cohort. Universities tried to recruit them. Leonardo refused all offers. Knowledge rented is knowledge constrained, he said. Then came the moment that changed everything. A global AI consortium invited Leonardo to audit their most advanced general intelligence. The system had stalled, capable, fast, but brittle. Leonardo studied its architecture for one night. In the morning, he proposed a change so simple it sounded absurd. Teach the system to forget. They laughed. He waited. He explained that human creativity emerges not from perfect recall, but from selective loss. Forgetting forces abstraction. Abstraction creates insight. He redesigned the memory layers to decay, intentionally. The system's performance dipped, then surged. It began generating ideas no dataset contained. The room went quiet. Leonardo closed his notebook. "You built a mirror," he said softly. "I taught it to dream." And in that silence, the world realized the truth it had been avoiding. Modern technology had finally met a mind it could not outgrow. By the time the world understood what Leonardo da Vinci had truly become, it was already living inside the consequences of his ideas. The lab beneath Florence, once a Renaissance ruin, now a global research epicenter, no longer felt like a place of invention. It felt like a control room for the future. Screens displayed cities redesigned with perfect energy balance, AI-guided infrastructure inspired by nature, and medical systems that treated disease before symptoms even appeared. Leonardo stood at the center of it all, older in years, yet sharper than any mind alive. He had not simply adopted modern technology, he had reframed it. Artificial intelligence under Leonardo's guidance was no longer trained only on data, but on ethics, art, anatomy, and human emotion. He forced engineers to merge code with conscience. Algorithms now asked why before executing how. His most controversial creation came last. A system called Speculum Humanitatis, the mirror of humanity. It was not surveillance, it was reflection. The system analyzed global human behavior, war patterns, resource greed, emotional decay, and simulated long-term consequences in real time. Governments could no longer hide behind short-term victories. Every decision instantly revealed its future cost. When the first simulation showed a major superpower collapsing within 30 years due to unchecked ego and exploitation, the leaders laughed. Leonardo did not argue. He simply asked one question: do you fear the truth and/or the mirror? Within months, policies began changing, not because of fear, but inevitability. You cannot outrun a future that is already visible. Yet Leonardo knew something the world did not. Humanity was not ready for everything he could build. Late one night, he locked himself alone inside the original archive, the same room where his Renaissance sketches were preserved. He recorded a final message, encrypted beyond modern decryption. His voice was calm. I was born in a time without electricity, without satellites, without machines that think. And yet, even then, I saw this coming. Technology does not save humanity. Wisdom does. If you use my work to dominate, erase it. If you use it to heal, let it live. The next morning, Leonardo da Vinci was gone. No signs of escape, no biological failure, no digital trace. Only one thing remained active. Speculum Humanitatis continued running, but now it asked a new question to anyone who accessed it. Are you building a future or escaping responsibility? Historians would argue forever whether Leonardo died, vanished, or chose exile beyond the systems he helped create. But the truth was simpler. He had finished teaching. Centuries earlier, Leonardo once wrote, "Learning never exhausts the mind." This time, the mind had exhausted the world and left it one final lesson. The future was not about how advanced humans could become. It was about whether they deserved it. If you enjoyed this cinematic what-if journey, subscribe to Timeline Echo for more powerful stories where history meets the future.